Hello, in this video we are going to discuss partnership, one of the topic in second chapter plus one business studies, forms of business organization. In the previous lectures, in the previous videos, we have discussed about the limitations of sole proprietorship and Hindu undivided family business. These limitations gave rise to partnership, or these limitations gave birth to partnership. Lack of finance and managerial capabilities under sole proprietorship gave rise to partnership, and partnership provides larger capital and it solves the problems of limited managerial skills. Partnership can be termed as the extension of sole proprietorship. Partnership is a form of business organization in which two or more persons they agree to carry on any lawful business with their personal resources, and the purpose is to earn profit. In India, partnership is governed by Indian Partnership Act 1932. According to the Indian Partnership Act 1932, partnership is the relation between persons who have agreed to share the profits of the business carried on by all or any one of them acting for all. This is the definition of partnership which is given by Indian Partnership Act 1932. According to the Indian Partnership Act 1932, partnership is the relation between persons who have agreed to share the profits of the business carried on by all or any one of them acting for all. Now, when we talk about the simple definition of partnership, we can say that partnership is the form of business organization in which two or more persons they agree to carry any lawful business with the help of their personal resources and with the aim of earning profit. Partnership is guided by an Indian Partnership Act. Because partnership is guided by Indian Partnership Act, therefore Indian Partnership Act has given its own definition for partnership. Now let us discuss the features of partnership. The features of partnership can be discussed under the heading number 1, formation, number 2, liability, number 3, risk bearing, number 4, decision making and control, number 5, continuity, number 6, membership, and number 7, mutual agency. So we will be discussing these headings one by one. Let us start with formation. We have discussed that partnership is governed by an Indian Partnership Act 1932. The partnership comes into existence with the legal agreement between different partners, and this agreement contains the terms and conditions of partnership. Profit is shared and losses are also shared by the partners. Agreement states the sharing of profits and losses and the way in which the business is to be run. Here we must keep in mind that partnership is an agreement between two or more persons, and this person has agreed to undertake any lawful activity and with the motive of earning a business. If two or more persons they have undertaken an agreement to do some charitable work, that will not be called a partnership. So partnership must be between two or more persons. That is the first condition. Second condition is that in partnership, the motive must be earning a profit. If partnership is done for charity, for social service, that agreement is not a partnership. Similarly, it must be a lawful activity. Any agreement done which is against the law of the country, that cannot be called as a partnership. Take an example. Two or more than two persons, they have come into an agreement to do kidnapping. That cannot be termed as a partnership because it is not a lawful activity. So for partnership, two conditions must fulfill. First condition is that it must be a lawful activity, and second condition is that the activity must be conducted in order to earn profit or in order to earn an income. So formation is according to the Indian Partnership Act 1932. Then is the liability. Liability of all the partners are unlimited. It means their personal assets may be used to clear off the debts of the business in case funds are efficient in the business. If business is unable to meet the debt, then the personal assets of the partners have to be used. That is known as unlimited liability. So in case of partnership, liability is unlimited. Now the partners, they are liable to pay the debt either jointly or individually. The partners, they had to clear the debt either jointly or individually. Jointly means all the partners are responsible for the debts and they contribute in proportion to their shares in the business, and as such they are liable to that extent. Means the partners together they have to clear off the business debts. Individually means each partner can be held responsible to repay the debts of the business. However, such a partner has the right to recover the proportionate contribution from the other partners. So liability of the partner is unlimited, and the partners, they have to clear off the debts. If the business assets are not enough, the personal assets of the partners can be used. Now unlimited liability states that the liability may be jointly or it may be individually. Jointly they are also responsible, and individually they are also responsible to clear off the debt. The third is risk bearing. The partners bear the risk which is involved in running a business. As a team means they share the risk of the business. The reward for risk is profit, and they share the profits in an aggregate ratio. In the event of losses, they also have to share the losses in the same ratio. That is risk bearing. Together all the partners, they bear the risk of the business. They share the profit in an aggregate ratio, and they also share the risk of the business. Fourth is decision making and control. Now who is in control of the business? Who takes major decisions in a business in case of partnership? Now in a partnership firm, partners shares among themselves the responsibility and decision making process. Decisions are generally taken with mutual consent. Decisions are taken with mutual consent. All the activities are managed by them together. So decision making and control are mutual. All the partners, they jointly decide what to do or what not to do. They decide the different works, they allot the different works to themselves, and they take decisions jointly. So all of them are in control of the partnership firm. Number 5 is continuity, existence of the business. The partnership automatically gets dissolved on the death of the partner, on the retirement of the partner, or on the insolvency of the partner. Continuity means the partnership comes to an end with the death of the partner, with the retirement of the partner, and with the insolvency of the partner. However, if the remaining partners they wanted to carry out the business, then they may have to come to make a new agreement. So what do you know about continuity? We can say that the partnership comes to an end. It can come to an end due to the death, due to the insolvency, or due to the retirement of any partner. But if the remaining partners they wanted to continue the business, then they have to come to a fresh agreement. They have to make a fresh agreement to continue the business. But what is the membership? Membership states that there must be at least 2 members to form a partnership firm. Minimum of 2 members must be there to form a partnership firm. Now here we have to follow certain acts of the company, a law of the company. It is section 464. Section 464 of the Companies Act 2013. Listen properly. Section 464 of the Companies Act 2013 provides that number of persons in any partnership shall not exceed 100, subject to the limit prescribed in the rules. So minimum, we have said that minimum it's 2, but to the maximum it is said that maximum we have a certain rules which we have to follow. First, section 464 of the Companies Act 2013 provides that number of persons in any partnership shall not exceed 100, subject to the limit prescribed in the rules. Then Rule 10 of the Companies Miscellaneous Rule 2014. It's Rule 10 of the Companies Miscellaneous Rule 2014 provides that no partnership shall be formed consisting of more than 50 persons. So one law was in 2013, then a fresh law in 2014 came, and it stated that there must not be any partnership where number of members that is exceeding 50. So the limit is now 50 persons. In short, you can say that in a partnership minimum number is 2 and maximum number is 50 according to the Rule 10 of the Companies Miscellaneous Rule 2014. Last feature is mutual agency. According to the Indian Partnership Act 1932, partnership business is carried on by all or one of the partners acting for all. It means every partner acts as the agent as well as the principal. Every partner is acting as the agent as well as the principal. As an agent, he represents other partners and binds them through his act. As an agent, he represents other partners and binds them through his acts, and as a principal, he is bound by the act of other partners. So there is a mutual agency. All the partners, they act as an agent and as a principal. After doing the features of the partnership, we will discuss about the merits of partnership. The merits of partnership can be studied under 5 headings. These are formation and closure, balanced decision making, more funds, sharing of profits, and secrecy. The first is ease of formation and closure. A partnership firm can be easily formed and dissolved. It comes into existence through an agreement between the persons, and they can start a lawful business. even without registration. So formation is easy and closure of the partnership is also an easy one. Then you have balanced decision making. Balanced decision making is a advantage of a partnership, and this decision making was a disadvantage in a sole proprietorship and a joint Hindu family business. Now here we are having more persons. As because number of persons are more, they have different skills, they have different knowledge, and they have different experience. Because of the different skills, different experience, and different skills of different partners, decision making is better and balanced decision making can be done. Then you have third point, that is more funds. In a partnership firm, capital is contributed by the partners. As a result, business has got large resources as compared to the sole proprietorship, because if fund is required, extra partner can be admitted and the partner will be bringing funds with him, so that the problems of the partnership can be solved and the problems related to funds of the partnership can be solved. Then sharing of risk. Business risks are shared by all the partners under the principles of unlimited liability. This reduces the worry, this reduces the burden and stress of individual partners. So all the risk of the business is shared by different partners. Secrecy. Partnership firm can easily keep its secrets because there is no need for partnership to publish its accounts. Partnership firm is not required to publish its account, so secrecy is maintained in partnership. Then the limitations of partnership. The limitations of partnership can also be studied under 5 headings. It is unlimited liability, limited resources, possibility of conflicts, lack of continuity, and lack of public confidence. First is the unlimited liability. We know that the liability of the partners are unlimited. If the business assets are not enough, they had to use their personal assets to meet the debts of the business. Partners are jointly liable as well as their individual liable to clear off the debts. So this is regarded as one of the biggest disadvantages of partnership. Second is the limited resources. Partnership firm cannot raise huge amount of financial resources because there is a limit on the number of partners. Minimum number of partners is 2, but the maximum is 50. So maximum limit cannot exceed. Because maximum limit is not exceeding, so partnership firm cannot raise huge amount of funds to meet the requirements of a large scale business. As a result, partnership firm face problems in expansion and growth beyond a certain size. Then third is possibility of conflict. In partnership firm, every partners has the right to enjoy in the affairs of the firm. Different partners, they have the right to participate in the management of the business. Any differences in opinion in some issues may lead to dispute between the partners. Decision of one partner are binding on the others. If there is a disagreement, then in that case conflict may arise among the partners, and this conflict may result in the breaking down of the partnership agreement. Any wrong decision by one partner may result in financially the other partners. If partners desires to leave the firm, then the partnership will be terminated, means it will come to an end. So this is the disadvantage, that is the possibility of conflict. Then you have lack of continuity. Partnership cannot continue for a longer period of time. The time period for partnership is uncertain or unstable. It can come to an end by an agreement, by a death, insolvency of any of the partners. But if the remaining partners they wanted to continue the partnership, then they have to come into a fresh agreement. Last disadvantage is the lack of public confidence. Now, the partnership is not legally required to publish its account. We have discussed earlier in the topic secrecy. Partnership firm is not legally required to publish its accounts. So public is not aware about the financial status of partnership. As because public they are not aware about the financial status of partnership, the partnership firms enjoys less confidence in the public, and public is not willing to invest in the partnership firm. So these are some of the limitations of partnership, but we can say that partnership firm is there because of the disadvantages which is in sole proprietorship and in joint Hindu family business. Those disadvantages are covered by partnership firms. Thank you.